Amy Mullins on the track, adjusting her carbon fiber prosthetic legs before a race. The camera focuses on her bionic legs as she sets herself in the starting blocks, determination on her face. When the gun fires, she launches forward with power, proving that limits exist only in the mind. Katherine Johnson at NASA in 1962, surrounded by chalkboards filled with complex mathematical equations. She calculates the orbital trajectory of John Glenn's flight using pencil and paper, verifying the computer's results. Light from the window illuminates her focused face as she solves the equations that will send a man into space. Florence Nightingale walking through the dark corridors of the Scutari Hospital during the Crimean War 1854, carrying her iconic lamp. The warm glow of her lamp lights the faces of wounded soldiers as she tends to them with compassion, revolutionizing modern nursing with her hygiene and care practices. Mother Teresa on the streets of Calcutta, kneeling beside a sick and abandoned person, offering water and comfort. Her white sari with blue borders contrasts with the humble surroundings. Her wrinkled hands hold the hands of someone suffering, embodying her mission to see Christ in the poorest of the poor. Wangari Maathai planting a tree in the mountains of Kenya, surrounded by women from the Green Belt movement. Her hands touch the soil as she places a young tree into the ground. In the background, reforested hills stand as testimony to the millions of trees planted by her movement. Hedy Lamarr in her home laboratory during World War II, surrounded by technical schematics and a piano. She works on the designs for the frequency-hopping communication system that would one day revolutionize telecommunications. The scene shifts between her glamorous Hollywood image and her brilliant identity as an inventor. Princess Diana visiting a hospital, gently holding the hand of a patient while speaking with warmth and empathy. Her presence brings calm to the room as she advocates for compassion, dignity, and humanitarian causes that touched millions around the world. 14-year-old Nadia Comaneci at the 1976 Montreal Olympic Games, performing her flawless routine on the uneven bars. The camera captures her absolute concentration, her body in perfect form as she flies through the air. The scoreboard shows 1.00, because it couldn't display 10.00, as she makes history with the first perfect score in Olympic gymnastics. Amelia Earhart in the cockpit of her Lockheed Electra, adjusting her flight instruments before her attempt to circumnavigate the globe in 1937. She wears her iconic aviator jacket and goggles. Through the window, the endless horizon symbolizes her pioneering spirit and courage. Maria Corina Machado has defied threats, bans, and campaigns of silence to defend Venezuela's freedom. Her voice, firm in the face of adversity, became a banner of civic resistance. With every step, she inspires millions who refuse to give up and keep alive the hope of a dignified, just, and truly free country. Irena Sendler in the Warsaw Ghetto during World War II, hiding documents with the names of Jewish children in glass jars that she buries beneath an apple tree. Her face shows courage and anguish as she saves lives, risking her own to rescue more than 2,500 children from the Holocaust. The three Mirabal sisters meeting in secret, preparing resistance materials against Trujillo's dictatorship in the Dominican Republic. Minerva reads documents while her sisters listen attentively. The light of a candle illuminates their brave faces, symbolizing their fight for freedom that would make them the butterflies. Policarpa Salabarrieta sewing quietly in a colonial house in Santa Fe, but every stitch is part of her secret work for independence. As she hides messages within the fabrics, her steady gaze reveals the double life she chose. Seamstress, spy, and heroine, she defies Spanish rule with courage that transcends generations. Harriet Tubman guiding a group of fugitive slaves through the forest at night, following the North Star. She carries a covered lantern and a rifle, her expression determined. The scene captures her bravery in the Underground Railroad, where she completed 13 missions freeing more than 70 enslaved people. Marie Curie in her Paris laboratory, working with radioactive materials that emit a blue-green glow in the dark. She wears a stained apron as she writes observations in her notebook. The scene shows the dedication that led her to become the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in different sciences. Alfonsina Storni walking alone along La Perla Beach in Mar del Plata, her dress blowing in the wind. She carries papers with her poems in her hand. The turbulent sea and gray sky reflect the intensity of her feminist poetry and her rebellious spirit that challenged the conventions of her time. Eleanor Roosevelt at the United Nations in 1948, standing before the Assembly, holding the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that she helped draft. Her posture is firm and dignified as she reads the historic document, surrounded by delegates from all nations. Light shines on the document that would change the world.